What you are listening to now is the Central Indiana Sports Report podcast number 320.3. John Garmon's and Michelle Garmon's reaction to the Fever's 80-61 loss to the Valkyries at home on Wednesday.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengelt.
Welcome, Fever fans, to the Central Indiana Sports Report. Following an ugly 80-61 win against the Golden State Valkyries, a team that John keeps praising throughout the year as playing well above their expectations. And I'm joined by John Robertson and Michelle Garmon for their reaction to one of the ugliest losses of the year. And we talked about it this morning when we were talking about the All-Star rosters, a podcast that'll be out tomorrow. Will be out Thursday. Sometimes the first game back, things just don't go right. And that's what happened today, right, John?
Yeah, I think Steph was playing with the lineup a little bit because, might as well try some stuff. And they were trying to get their fit together. And I really, you got to give a lot of credit to Golden State's defense. They just played incredibly strong defense, making it hard for the Fever to shoot today. So you combine those two factors, the Fever not being completely comfortable and back in a rhythm with Caitlin back, and then Golden State's defense just shut them down.
I don't know that the Fever really ever connected I know maybe early in the game, but outside of that, not really. I will say this. I thought Tinsley probably had the best performance of all. Tipson, yes, sorry. Had the best performance of anybody on the Fever. I was really impressed with her.
Yeah, I was really happy to see she played 20 minutes and had 10 points and 6 rebounds. So she's getting confident in her time on the court. That's really good to see because we're going to need her to be strong. Dantas was back. Dantas had 4 points in her 8 minutes. So I knew they weren't going to play Damaris very much because she played every single minute of the championship game for the FIBA challenge she was in, and they got silver. So I knew her minutes would be restricted, probably. But yes, I agree with you 100% that Timpson had a good showing. It was really good to see what she brought to the court today.
Well, I really think that her development through all of this has been a good thing because you can see her confidence growing.
They could really use one more rotation piece.
Yes.
Yeah. If you look at the starting lineup, they took Lexi out of the starting lineup and kept Ari in. So basically, Caitlin just replaced Lexi in the starting lineup today. So they had Caitlin playing the 3, and they had both Ari and Kelsey playing basically point 1-2 point. So I really do think that Stephanie's just playing with various rotations, playing with the lineups to see what's working and what doesn't. Like I'm not super stressed. Like it was an ugly loss, and the team shot the worst they've shot all year. As a team, they shot like under 32% from the field.
I saw somebody say, "Well, Stephanie doesn't know how to use Caitlin Clark right," and what I think putting her at the 3 today was not necessarily a bad thing. You're not looking at her then to have to drive or make a lot of different cuts. When you're at the point and they're double teaming you, people don't understand. She's coming off a groin injury. And if you've not had one, plus with that left quad, your explosiveness is not there, right? I mean, it's like anything else. Plus, she's missed enough that, she's just going to have to get a little bit of that back in basketball condition.
I don't think there's anything wrong with using this time before the All-Star break to play around and see what works and what doesn't work.
I don't either.
So people shouldn't be overreacting. They are, but they shouldn't be. And let's be honest, Golden State's playing really well. Golden State's playing incredibly well. They were down by 10 in the first quarter, and then they came back and went on like a 15-0 run before Fever even scored again. So I just think Golden State's a strong defensive team. I'm really sad that we let Timmy get away. Timmy is one of my favorite WNBA players. I just absolutely love her, and she had a great game. Or no, she only had 8.
Thornton and Burton.
Thornton looked great. Thornton looked really good, and which she's on Caitlin's All-Star team, so that's cool. Like, yeah, it was a really bad loss. Lexi shot terrible. Lexi was awful today, and I'm the biggest Lexi fan in the world, but like today was not her day. She missed. Let's see, she was really bad from 3. She was 1 from 4 for 3, and 2 for 7 overall. Not a good day for Lexi. So
No,
And
I just
Aaliyah
think
Boston, 6.6 rebounds, not going to get the job
yeah,
done.
she's 2 from 8. She was minus 25 on the plus minus. They all just looked off. Like Aaliyah missed a couple of inside layups you wouldn't normally see. Lexi airballed like a 10-footer. And I was like, what's going on? Like, and you guys, I'm not ripping on them too hard. I'm just saying that's out of character for them.
Well, John,
By the way,
I told you, I think that Lexi may be hurt, or have some kind of nagging injury, and the way her shooting was today, just the way they've put her in and out a lot, her not starting today, her not starting today, or Caitlin playing 3 may also be because Lexi's not 100%, but they're not going to put that out there.
Yeah, that's fair.
When's the last time? I mean, once a year they play these games on a weekday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be a different atmosphere. It's off your regular game clock that you usually have. Sometimes things in these situations just go wrong, even with professionals.
Sure.
You just never sync up, and we're just gonna chalk this up to that. This loss up to that. But I will say this, John. Things were looking really good after a win over the Liberty, a couple over the Aces. They are beating good teams. They're beating good teams. The Lynx in the Commissioner's Cup without Caitlin Clark. Everything's looking great. And now all of a sudden, the questions pop up again. And the overriding theme on Twitter is this team doesn't fit right together all of a sudden.
I disagree. I think it's just going to take some time for him to play and get in the groove. Like when you've got people coming in and out of the lineup regularly, and you can't really get to know your full squad, it's going to take a minute for everybody to just play together. I mean, look at the Pacers. They had people in and out all season, and then after January or February, they started to play great, right? Like I think it's the same type of thing.
I think you're right. This team is going to find its rhythm, I think, after the All-Star break. I think the big key is to get there, to get the players that aren't playing in the game, get some rest, and then turn it up in the second half when you have everybody, and maybe you get to where you have a good 9-person rotation in the second half with you add Timpson in there. It's maybe that can be a good thing. That because I will say this, I think they need that a little bit because Boston has had to play a lot of minutes, and she's not going to get a break at the All-Star thing. And it's not just the number of minutes, because with Caitlin being out and everything, Boston's also taken on a different role, so she's got a lot of the mental fatigue, stress involved, not just the physical. So I think Timpson's development can be huge in that regard.
I think they're going to be fine. I would rather them get all of these quirks and stuff out of the way early in the season and come on strong at the end.
All right, guys. Next couple of games, winnable wins. Dream at home, Wings at home, at Connecticut. Heading into the Liberty before the All-Star break, Liberty after the break, and then the Aces. So these games starting Friday, Sunday, Tuesday, big ones.
Yeah, I think the dream game's going to be a coin flip, toss up, whatever you want to call it. That one's going to be tough. We should beat the Wings. We should beat the Sun. But you want to take all 3, right? Like you need the momentum going into the All-Star break to having all 3. But we'll see how it happens.
I think the Dream's going to be the tough one out of that group because they're playing well.
Fever are favored by 2.5 on FanDuel, but like I wouldn't take that. I wouldn't take Fever minus anything. I would take it at even money, but that's it. Anyway.
Thanks so much, guys. We'll do it again on Friday. Appreciate your time as always.
All righty.
All right.
Hey, everybody, don't forget about our All-Star draft recap with John and Michelle. We did that this morning. That'll be out a little later on Thursday. Thanks so much again, guys.
And thank you so much for listening. Do us a huge favor and help spread the word about the Central Indiana Sports Report by telling your friends and family. And tune in again for our next Fever reaction after the next game on Friday. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. I love Susie.